Hey guys, it's Keith here. Thanks for joining me for this demonstration of Engage Player. What you're seeing here is basically the enterprise version of the software. We have three separate plans, a basic plan, a premium plan, and the enterprise plan. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at kind of what each of these plans and the features that you get with them. We'll start out there, and then we'll go into the actual engagement player and show you the builder and how we create these engagements. Okay, so let's start out looking at the dashboard. Basically, we provide two different views. There's the grid view and then the list view here. So on grid view, what we do is if we basically, it will display the name of the engagement, as well as if we roll over, we can take a look at the preview, grab the embed code, edit it, push to Facebook, which I'll show you that's a part of the premium plan, so I'll show you that in a bit. And then, of course, delete it. Now, those same exact options are available on the list view as well, right over here. All right, so what we'll do is take a look at integrations. Now, integrations, we offer, I think it's 7 or 8 different integrations with autoresponders. The cool thing about it is you can add as many as you like. So I can have 3 different Aweber connections, 4 get response, whatever campaigns you guys are running or your customers are running. They can have multiple instances, not just one. So what I'm going to do is I'll just choose one here, and we're going to basically give it a name. Call it my Aweber. And we're going to add that connection. Okay, so what you'll see here, I'm not going to add them all, I'll just kind of show you the difference between the two. So you guys all know how autoresponders work. Some of them require API keys, so we go ahead and get that information right here. Some it's just a simple connect, where it's just going to ask them to authorize that connection, like Aweber. So that's why you'll notice that there's a difference here. And you can also delete them, and then of course edit them at your will. So what also comes with basic is the reporting. So right now we're able to do some beta testing over the past week, and have finally gotten all that feedback back with us, and we're gonna apply some of those suggestions. And one of them is the reports area. The graph that we were using, we weren't real happy with. It wasn't the most user friendly. So we're tweaking that right now and have a much better, much easier graph to understand. But basically, what you'll get is you'll get the ability to choose one or multiple engagements that you've created, as well as select a date range. And what it'll display is basically the average time on video across whichever engagements you choose to view on that graph. So it gives them a really nice snapshot to see, if their engagement is improving, versus some statistics they've had before. The nice thing about this is you don't really even have to create an engagement. You could simply just put your video into our player, and we'll go ahead and capture that view time as well, so you don't necessarily need to create any other type of overlays or forms or other types of engagement on the page to utilize the reporting aspect. But of course, that's the whole point of the software, so that's what what most folks are going to do. And we should have that new UI created here in the next couple of days. And then basically, obviously, you get the create engagement player, as well with the basic plan. So let's take a look at the premium plan. There's 2 things there. We have the ability to search videos. So basically, you can choose YouTube here, and we'll just say, marketing, and search. So basically, it will pull back all your videos. Now you have a couple of choices here. You can create a new player right there. You can by clicking it, it will simply take you right here to our first step of the builder, and basically fill in that URL for you. Or you can go back to the search live from here as well. So let's go ahead and pop marketing back in there. What it'll also allow you to do is you can save it for later. So basically, I'll take the 4 principles of marketing and go ahead and save that for later, which then gives you the ability to go into your saved videos, and you can use it for later. So if you're just searching around looking for something that might be interesting for later use, you're never going to remember where it was. So this is a great way for you to go ahead and save those for later use. And you can create that new player right from this button here as well under the save videos. Now, the other feature on the first OTO here is is the push to Facebook. Okay, so basically what this is going to allow you to do, and I'm going to go ahead and click this for you, is it will basically bring back all your pages that you have connected to your Facebook account. You'll be able to select that page. It will then show you any existing tabs that you have that are editable. There are some that are not editable that Facebook doesn't allow you to edit. So you can go ahead and choose an existing tab, or if you don't have that tab, you can create a new one right here. You'll then also be able to select the engagement player that you actually want to push to it. Now you'll notice that I clicked on dashboard. I've clicked this one here. That's where the little Facebook icon is there as well. So I've clicked this. It's going to go ahead and take it, and it will preload whichever one that I've clicked there for convenience, so that you know which one you're going to be pushing. And simply hit save, and it will push it out to the Facebook tab. And we have the disconnect Facebook here, so if at any time you just want to break the connection, just go ahead and click that. You can reestablish it the next time you choose to push one of your engagements to Facebook. It only ever asks you to connect once, so once you have that connection made, you can push whichever engagements you'd like to whichever tabs. So now that's what's on the first upsell in the premium package. For the enterprise package, it's white labeling. So basically what you'll see then at that point is the users section and the white label options. So let's take a look at the users here. You'll have the ability to search just to narrow down your results. Hopefully I would assume there'd be a lot of users that you were able to sell the application to. You can add one here. It's some basic information, first, last, email, password, confirm, and it's basically going to allow you to set them to a premium or a basic account. So what we'll be providing is basically documentation on how for the endpoints for a developer to go ahead and hook to JVZoo and also to PayPal. So all that documentation will be there, but a developer will be required to actually have that hooked up. There is no interface for that in-app. And then you'll get the white label options as well, which we'll go ahead and just switch around here. I'll show you how that works. So if I want here, you can switch the logo up and your company name, which I got there. There's support link, contact person, contact email. You're then allowed to customize the theme a bit here. So your page top banner color, and I'm by no means a designer, so it isn't going to be pretty. So let's take a look here. So that's your font color, though this is actually the background. Let's put the font color as white. The logo background, I have a dark one, so I'm going to have white on mine. The profile we'll set there, and then your menu, some other shade of this wonderful green color I've chosen. Go ahead and save. And there you go. Now, if you're playing around with it, you just go ahead and make edits as you see fit. If you decide you are not going to use that and you just want to use the default Engage player, you just go ahead and reset to default, and everything will be back to normal. Now, we also are going to offer a pretty robust training section, which we'll be getting those all in here in the next few days. Obviously, I want to make sure the UI is consistent, so that when our customers are going through the training, it looks exactly the same as what they're seeing. So in the next few days, I'll be putting together that library. So that's basically what you get for the premium. For the enterprise. So let's go ahead and kind of get into the actual engagement player. There's a lot of ways to create these engagements. So we have a lot to go through. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the engagement player builder. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to find me a video here, and let's see here. Let's just go with marketing and. Let's see, we have Ty Lopez. All right, so we'll create this new player here, and we're going to go ahead and give it a name. Call it Ty. It already populated everything here. Now, you're also going to have the abilities to put in an intro URL and an outro URL. So if you are using some YouTube video and you want to put your own personal introduction or your personal outro in there, you just go ahead and copy and paste the link in there, and it will basically combine that into one large video, which you can then build engagements around as well. So in other words, this source here, and this source here will really be seen by our player as one long video, so you can create engagements based on at some point in time in the intro, in the source, or in the outro. Okay, so we'll go ahead and save those, and that'll take us into the actual builder. Okay, so let's look at a couple of the settings here. We have some templates, about 10 pre-built templates, layouts basically, for customers to use if they choose to go that route. But I'm going to actually show you from scratch because it's a very simple builder to use. We've got different grid systems here, so we basically have kind of 100%. We've got a 50-50, and so on. So I think you get the point there. It has different widths, different lengths, quarters, or threes rather, and quarters. Okay. And we have some HTML elements that can be drugged to the page as well. We've got paragraph, image, a button, the EP player, the engage player, forms, YouTube's or Vimeo videos. You can actually have more of those. A map feature, and then code if they just want to enter something. If they're well enough versed in HTML, they can put their own code in there as well to have that appear. And then, of course, we have the times and the effects. So you're basically going to have a start time and end time, and you can apply certain effects to those, or animations, basically, to the start and the end. So basically what that means is start is when an element appears on the page. The end is when it would go away. You don't have to remove an element from the page. You can certainly just leave it blank, and it would just stay there and remain there for the duration of the video. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that one out of there, and let's build one out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a 50-50. I'm going to go ahead and drag my engage player, the actual video, in there. Okay, so the first thing we'll do before we build out the entire page is let's just take a look at what you can do for the video overlays. Now, as I said, there's really two things that you can do. You can have callouts on top of the video, or you can have them on page, or you can have both. But let's just start here. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at the settings. Okay, so it's basically giving us our ID. Now there's a lot of different settings, a lot of different combinations. So I'll just walk through a few of these things, and then we'll just set one for the sake of demonstration. But you can certainly change your aspect ratio of the video if you'd like. Auto start, loop the video. You can hide video controls. You can resume where user left off. So basically, I'll show you that example as well. And you can pause the video when off screen. So if a new tab opens, you can then have that video pause. Okay, for this example, I'm just going to flip these off for now. Then what you have is you're going to be able to style. So this is basically your styling around the video itself. So you can apply margins and padding to it as well as a background. You're going to have calls to actions or form overlays. So in form overlay, you can enable this. You basically have some display options to show at the beginning of the video, at the end of the video, or a custom time. So for this example here, I'll just do a custom time of 5 seconds. Now this is the start time. Now the end time you can leave blank and it'll just stay there throughout the length of the video. But for this example, I'm just going to put 10 seconds in there. Now, after submit, it's basically going to allow you what happens, after the user submits this video. Okay, so we're going to continue playing the video, or we're going to send it to an external page. Now, if for continuing playing a video, we basically have another setting down here. It's what to do, the form action display. So when it displays, what do you want to have happen? You want the video to continue to play? Great. If not, then we're going to stop the video. So that's where this particular feature would come in. So it'll continue after submit, but stop as soon as it appears. Okay, so we're going to just continue to play the video in this example so that I can at least show you the in and out. Okay, so what we're going to do then is go to our integration. We have the raw HTML ability as well as the autoresponder. So if I had some hooked up here, as you can see, a few of them have shown up, but I have not made any connection. It would then display your list. You can then choose now there's by default there's placeholders, the what's going to appear. So first name, last name, and email address are the three choices. You can enable or disable, and you can choose to have them required if you'd like. And you can put your own placeholder in here as well. Okay, so and then we have our button. So basically it's just a default button there, but we want to say something like, submit, it's fine. We have a lot of different styles here. You have primary, success, info. There's a bunch of different styles, or you could just do custom as well, which will allow you to set the background color, and you can do some default sizing there as well. So what we also have is the ability to make it 100%. We can have it centered at a certain percentage or pixel, and then basically not centered, so we have it over here. Okay, so right now we're going to have it centered. And I think I'll just leave it at 60%. That looks fine. You can change font sizes, some padding, text color, the background color as we have it as custom. So let's go ahead and just pick a color there. And then we have also, you can choose to use shadows or not use shadows. You can set horizontal positioning, the blur, the distance, the vertical position, and then the shadow color. And I'm actually just going to turn it off for right now. And then we have the border. So you can choose your border thickness and your border color, as well as the radius. Okay, so if we want to, just ready a button, and there we go. All right, so we can go ahead and hit apply, and we'll take a look at that. Okay, we're going to want to save first. Oh, and one thing, let's check if we set the to auto start. No, actually, I'm going to turn the auto start on and save it. Okay, and then all we do is hit preview.
All right, the magic number, 1,000,000. How can you get 1,000,000 people to pay attention to whatever?
And there's the form as we've had it. My styling is terrible, but there it is. And there it went off. Okay. So what we can do is make adjustments to that. Let's say we wanted it to, let's do the stop video and then continue after. Let's try that. Okay, and we'll preview.
All right, the magic number, 1,000,000. How can you get 1,000,000 people to pay attention?
All right. So we'll go ahead and enter some info here and submit. And there it is. It'll tell them thank you. That will fade away. And there you go. It continues to play. Now again, we have many different combinations of options here, for the form as to when it's going to display. Alternatively, we can also use calls to actions, or you can use them both. That's why we have the ins and outs. So if you wanted to show something, take it off the screen, off the video, go ahead and prepare for a call to action or whatever else you may want to include. So we'll just disable that and head on over here. And we're going to basically have three types that you can use: the text, an image, or a button. So with text, you'll see we have you're going to have some basic options there to show at the video, beginning of the video, end of the video, or a custom time. And again, I'm just going to use the example here, and what you want it to do. So same setting there as whether you want the video to stop or if you want it to continue to play. Okay. Now you have your text editor, which everyone's very familiar with, so you can have whichever text you'd like to display in here. We also have then the image. So at that point, now all the options are the same for each of those call to actions. We have external source. You're just going to basically paste your URL in there as to what it is. Everything is totally responsive, so you don't have to worry about resizing. It will take care of that for you. You'll have external for the click if you want it to be to take them somewhere. Maybe it's an ad, whatever it may be. Open in the new window or the current window, and then where you'd like it to go. Now we also have the button, and the button is the same builder that we have with the others. So we can go ahead and style that as however we'd like. Label, there's where it's going to go. All the styles are the same as I showed you on the submit button. So you have all the same options on this to customize this button however you'd like. So what we can do is let's just go ahead and throw a button. We'll do it. Let's do it at the end, I guess. Let's go end of video, and this one's going to continue to play. And we have click here. Sure. Whichever. Okay. Apply it, save it, preview it. And what I'll do is just forward to the end here.
I forgot to put my own
and there it is. So you can click, and if I had an href in here, then I would obviously be able to lead them somewhere. So as you can see, there's many different combinations, that you can use for these call to actions and the overlays directly over the video. So for now, I'm just going to disable this and save it, and we'll go ahead and continue building out, the page engagements now. Okay, so for the sake of time, with the demonstration here, what we're going to do is put a few of these on-page engagements on. So to start with, we're probably going to, maybe want to have it say something here, which I've recorded, or I've created a little piece of text here that we can use quick. So we'll go ahead and edit this and paste that in. Make sure our styles all get applied right. So we'll format this H2. Maybe we want to bold a few things. And okay, so we're good there. All right, so we want that to appear and stay on throughout the entire video. So what we'll do then next is perhaps at some point in the video we want to demonstrate this coaching program that he has and maybe just list out a few benefits, but we want them to stay on the page because we're already kind of prompting them, hey, something is coming. So the next thing maybe we want to do is throw a couple of those benefits on. So why don't we go ahead and add another paragraph here, and we'll edit that, and we'll say whatever that benefit may be. So we'll just for sake of time, we'll just say benefit 1. We can apply that. We can then throw in another paragraph underneath it, do the same thing. Maybe we have two benefits that we're going to want to throw out there. 2. Throw them in bold. Okay. All right. So what we can do is we can also apply a little bit of margin and padding on these if we want to. So for now, I'll just use margin here. So we'll say maybe 6. From that top, well, okay, I guess a little bit more than that. Let's do 20, and we'll put 20 on this as well. Okay, all right. Okay, so now we have 3 separate elements here. This one is going to remain on page, but these we want to come out at a certain time. So you can play the video in the builder here, and what we do is, I'm going to show you here, is there's a start time and an end time, okay? So we hit start time. This is when we want it to appear, okay? So it'll pause the video for you and actually put in the start time. Now what we want to do is, if we wanted it to, if we wanted to exit, or to come off screen, what we would do is continue to play the video and then hit the end button. Okay, so what that'll basically do then is enter the end time. So at this point, it'll come on at 8 and leave at 12. All right, so for now, I'm going to keep these. On here, and for this one here, so we've got 8 seconds there, and this one I'll just have come on a little bit after that. So we'll just say 10. So in this, and you can also manually just write in, manually write in when you want those to start. Okay, or finish. All right, so now we have one coming in at 8.5. We have one coming in at 10. So what we can do is save that. Now you can apply, in and out animations to each of these as well. So like for this one, we could just do like a little bounce, and then we could do for this one. Oh, let's just do a shake. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's just take a look at that and see what that looks like. We preview it. And we'll go ahead and play it.
All right, the magic number, 1 million. How can you get 1 million people to pay attention to whatever is your next big idea? Everybody's got a big idea.
So we have our first benefit, and our second benefit comes in. Okay, good. So we're good there. So we can list out the benefits if we choose. If there's more, that's great. And then what I'll show you we can do is, towards the end of this, you may have something that you want them to really opt in on, okay? So we want to kind of display a form there. So what we can do is we can drag this form and plop down right there. We go in and edit, and obviously we want to style this in to whichever way you want to. But I'm just going to require that they put their email address in. Again, we can style that button as much as we'd like to. For now, we'll just do a little success and a join button. Okay, so there we go. All right, so now what we can do is we can actually swap these out. So these benefits can go away and this form can then appear at a certain time. Okay, so let's just say, okay, so for these we have starts at 10. So let's just say we want this to come in at 12, let's go 14 seconds. And we want it to stay there till the end, so we're not going to put an end on it. But we do want these to disappear. So these we'll say, let's make them go away maybe a second before, just so that we can kind of see it happen. Okay, so we save. Good, and preview. autoplay.
All right, the magic number, 1,000,000. How can you get 1,000,000 people to pay attention to whatever is your next big idea? Everybody's got a big idea that I mean. And the
One, benefit two.
like the saying goes, if a tree falls in the
Now they both go away, and the email address appears. Now we can animate those as well. You know, either way, so you can make them look nice without animations, and same with you know, animating the actual address in. Now with these forms, you do have a lot of control. You can display them, excuse me, inline or stacked, just depending on where you have them. So if you have a horizontal form where you want to maybe drop this form underneath it, then everything would be next to each other. And of course, it's all responsive. So if it's on mobile or tablet or whatever size screen you have, then everything will obviously cascade down the way that it should, so that it views correctly. Okay, so the final step is basically grabbing the embed code. You can get there either through the navigation up top here or just by hitting the next button and simply grabbing the script code, copying and pasting it into anything. I'm using Optimized Press for the JV page you're looking at right now, so I'll go ahead and I'll get that on there and we'll take a peek here. But here it is. Okay, so you'll notice that that's there as we start the video. And we could autoplay if we chose to. It just depends on all the settings.
how can you get 1,000,000 people to pay attention to whatever is your next big idea? Everybody's got a big idea that
And there you notice there's benefit 1, benefit 2 comes in, and a few seconds later we should then see the form. And there's the form. So it adjusts, it makes room for anything that's coming on later, and so on. So as you can see, it's pretty powerful software. There's a million different combinations, ways that you can use this. You know, membership sites, squeeze pages, blog posts, however you want to try to you know, really improve that engagement and keep them locked into, you know, to watching your video. So thanks for watching, and thanks so much for your support.